coolest thread hack ever. Are you ready to save money on sewing thread? I know you are, and today I've got a hack for you. We're gonna take this big spool of thread and we are gonna get it on the small spool. And why do we wanna do that? Well, some sewing machines only take the small spools, and these two cost about the same amount of money, and there is so much more thread on here than you would get on this one. And you get better tension and sewing results when you use the smaller spools on your home sewing machines. So let's do it. Let's get the thread from the big spool onto the small spool using only our home sewing machine. So to start this, we need an empty spool of thread. So next time your thread runs out, save it, don't throw it away. And the next step is just to jam this right onto your bobbin holder. Joking, do not do that, it won't even work. So let's not do that. So this empty spool does not fit on the bobbin holder. The thread spool is just too big. It's not even designed to fit here. So what we need to do is figure out how are we gonna get this empty spool to fit on our bobbin holder? Well, grab your glue gun and an empty bobbin, and I'm gonna show you how. That's right, a glue gun. If you know me, I hate using glue, but today, it's a glue day. Speaking of threads and bobbins, make sure you check out my online sewing school at the Anastasia.com. Glue gun's all heated up and we are ready to go. So I'm gonna glue the right side of the bobbin down on the spool. That is right. This is gonna be crazy, right? So be careful you don't burn yourself with that hot glue gun. Put a little bead of hot glue around it. And now we are going to center it and we are going to push it right onto the spool. And when you're doing this, just make sure that you're gluing the side of the bobbin that needs to be face up on your machine down. So the side that's up, we need to glue down. Give it a good press, let it sit for a minute, let it cool down and harden, and then let the magic begin. Our bobbin and spool is ready to go. But what do we do with this giant spool of thread that does not fit on our machine? Well, we're gonna put it on the table right next to our machine. That's right, we don't need a holder or anything at all. And now we're gonna click the bobbin into place. Now what we're gonna do is just thread the machine like we would normally for winding a bobbin. So down, make sure you're under your tension disc. We're right here in the U shape on my machine. And now I'm going to wrap the thread around this giant spool, get some tension started on it. I'm going to click my bobbin into place. But we can't just step on the pedal and wind it up. It's not gonna work. So you have two very specific things you need to do with your thread. One thing we need to do is just hold the thread out so that way the thread comes directly up from the spool and comes over. Next, we need to make sure that this thread, while we're winding it, is gonna go up and down on the spool just like it would on the bobbin. It's automatically gonna do that on our bobbin, right? But our machine is not meant to wind giant spools, so I like to take pencil or a little plastic spool holder, and we're gonna make sure we move it up and down this giant spool of thread while we wind it. Are you ready to see how this works? It is so cool. So let's start out slow so you can really see what's going on. So it's winding the thread around the bottom of the spool, but it's gonna keep winding it there. So we're gonna use this little lever to bring the thread up and then back down, up and back down, just like it would be put on the spool in manufacturing. So just keep working your way up and down until the spool is as full as you would like it. So you have control as to how much thread you would like on this and where you would like it to be. And you can go as fast as you'd like. Let's stop there and check that out. We've got a spool of thread. It looks like we just bought it from the store. To remove it, you're gonna remove it like you would your bobbin. So just push it over, pull it off, and there we go. We have got our spool of thread. So now we have our new spool of thread, but we've got this bobbin up here. And you know what? You can totally leave it glued on there so you can just keep reusing it again and again and again. Check this out. It works with it on still. I like to put the bobbin on first, and then there we go. We've got our spool of thread like we would normally put it on, but the bobbin is in the back. Or you can remove it, it's hot glue, so it pops right off. So we were just gonna pop that off. Paper came off from the top of the spool, totally fine. Just remove that, and then if you want to reuse this bobbin again, that hot glue will just peel right off for you. But you can totally just leave them on there or pop them off, your choice. Wasn't this the coolest hack ever? You are gonna save so much money on your sewing thread now. I love a great sewing hack. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this sewing hack. And make sure you like and subscribe to Sewing Anastasia for more fun sewing videos. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, well, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the social media, so that way we can stay connected and creative together. And I'd love to know what video you would like to see next, so leave that down below in the comments. And if you guys haven't checked out the Anastasia make sure you check that out. And we also have a sewing pattern of the month. So once a month, you'll get a new sewing video that's exclusive with all kinds of cool videos on how to alter it and how to sew it together. And if you're in Chicago, come on into the design studio so that way we can take a sewing class together in person. Check that out at sewinganastasia.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.